First up, the Bharatiya Janata Party is all set to pick its presidential candidate. The parliamentary board is meeting to endorse the name of the candidate. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be chairing the meet. It will be a big day for the BJP because it has a chance to nominate and ensure victory for a candidate with no connection to the Congress. The BJP wants everyone who is supporting them to be present in full force. It has already consulted major political parties and neutral allies as well. But the million-dollar question remains over the identity of the person who is set to become the next president of India. Now, sources are saying that the Union Minister Sushma Swaraj is the front-runner for the post. The names of Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan, the Jharkhand Governor Draupadi Murmu and Metroman E. Sridharan are also doing the rounds. The presidential elections will be held on the 14th of July. Now, the ruling BJP has called a meeting of its MPs on 19th of June and the 20th to brief them about the process of polling. The party has lined up its union ministers and senior leaders of its allies as proposers and seconders for filling out the nomination papers. A party leader has told WION that the BJP-led presidential candidate's name can be announced around the 20th or 21st of June and that the papers will be filed by 23rd of June. All right. Joining me in the studio for more of a discussion on that big question mark over who the next president might just be. I'm joined by WION's political editor, Kartikeya Sharma. Kartikeya, a great deal of secrecy still surrounding the name Sushma Swaraj emerging as a front runner. We'll get to the specifics in a bit, but tell us, what is the strategy that the BJP is employing and how uncomfortable do you think the opposition is over it?
You see, opposition is uncomfortable for the simple reason because they don't have a say. They don't have a say because it is like repeat of 1970s and 1980s. You know, Indira Gandhi did not consult the opposition party when Gyani Jail Singh was announced as the presidential candidate, and Mr. Jail Singh was openly saying that he would take a broom and, you know, sweep the floor for Indira Gandhi. Though the election was actually questioned in the Supreme Court because the opposition candidate said that there were papers which were distributed in the Central Hall of the Indian Parliament. So, but that's the boisterous nature of our democracy, and that's the way presidential elections are fought, because there is no whip. So if there is no whip, then anyone can vote, and this is not a small electoral college. You have a proportional representation married to MLCs, MLAs, Lok Sabha MP, Raj Sabha MP, all voting for the president. And secondly, the only time when you had opposition actually supporting a candidate, Sanjeeva Reddy was from the Congress stock. He was part of the freedom struggle. Right. Then came Mr. Kalam, though not of the BJP RSS stock, but the Congress supported the candidature because despite having a government in New Delhi, Vajpayee didn't have the muscle in the state assemblies. This is for the first time, Aisha, that a president would be elected in Delhi who is not part of the Congress ecosystem. And that's what makes this election very, very important in Indian contemporary history. And very, very different as well. Raghavendra Rao, my colleague, is also joining us on the broadcast. Raghavendra, you know, we're going through how this entire process has almost pulled the carpet from under the Congress's feet. They weren't expecting perhaps the BJP to come to them, but with no names at all. What are you hearing in the corridors of power? What are the rumors that are surrounding who exactly might just be the next president of India?
Well, you know, as far as the BJP is concerned, as we've been discussing in the past also, it will all boil down to the choice of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and BJP Chief Amit Shah. Now, these two gentlemen are the ones who will be putting the final stamp of approval on who they consider to be the fit candidate to be the next president of India. But many names have been doing the rounds ever since, this became clear that President Pranab Mukherjee's term was nearing an end. So in the BJP circles, as you yourself mentioned a while back, Sushma Swaraj's name has been doing the rounds for a while. She is a politician who has good relations cutting across party lines. She enjoys good rapport, with politicians from a varied, political canvas.
Right.
And she could be a consensus candidate. She may find little opposition, little or no opposition, in fact, to her candidature. Then there are names like Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan. She is also being talked about as a potential candidate to be the next President of India. In fact, there were reports and there were suggestions that Mrs. Mahajan was asked not to leave Delhi for the next week or so, and that was seen as an indication that the party wanted her to be in town. So, in case she was indeed selected as the next presidential nominee, she should be in Delhi to file her nomination papers. Then there is Jharkhand's Governor Draupadi Murmu. Her name has also been doing the rounds. These are the names primarily, but today's parliamentary board meeting will be crucial, and we hope to have some clarity on this in some time from now.
Sure. Stay with me, Raghavendra. An interesting, perhaps lowest common denominator, if you will, Karthik, out of those three names mentioned was the fact that they're all women. Do you think that this is something that to take note of? And I ask you this because we spoke about, the Dalit tribal combination that the BJP might be considering. But is the female factor also a very important thing for the BJP?
No, this question has, bothered me for a long time, because I think it's a disservice to call Sumitra Mahajan. It's a disservice to see women like Sushma Swaraj from perspective of women. It's like there is no, has someone said a man factor for Pranab Mukherjee, or man factor for Gyani Jail Singh, or a man factor for Dr. Zakir Hussain, man factor for Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan?
So you're saying it's purely the candidature that...
It's the ability of Sushma Swaraj of what she is.
Sure.
It's the ability of Sumitra Mahajan what she is. And yes, Draupadi Murmu, again, but that's not a factor of gender. India has seen presidents of various ethnic and religious hues, but India has not seen a president of the tribal hue. Because a lot of people argue academically that the tribals didn't have their own Ambedkar.
Right.
So the political empowerment of the echelons of power, the tribals weren't there. So yes, I would say that there's something new to the debate, that maybe you might have a tribal, but then it depends on the perspective of the Prime Minister. For example, Rajendra Babu became the president because Congress party wanted to. He was right of centre, Nehru was left of centre, and he was there for 10 years. But then when Nehru wanted his president, you had people like Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan and Dr. Zakir Hussain, complete academicians. When Indira Gandhi wanted her presidents, they were born out of loyalty, and loyalty to the family, like Mr. Sharma or Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed or Gyani Jail Singh. They depended on personal loyalty, and even Sonia Gandhi, Pratibha Devi Singh Patil. So ultimately, it depends what Modi wants in this case. Okay,
joining us on the broadcast also is senior political commentator and journalist Kalyani Shankar. Ms. Shankar, thanks so much for speaking with us here at WION. I've had a rather difficult question for Karthik here, which has sort of riled him up. So I'm going to pose that to you. Do you think, and I'll pose it differently, are there any check boxes that the BJP is hopeful of ticking when it comes to presenting that name of its choice for the President of India? And if so, what are they?
Well, you see, the first thing for the BJP is this is the first chance the party has got to install its own nominee. And earlier, during Vajpayee's time, it was a coalition government and he needed the support of the other allies also. At present, in this case, BJP alone has the number. That's number one. Number two is Modi is a different kind of leader than Vajpayee or Advani or any of those people. He would certainly like to have somebody who is acceptable to him and also loyal to him. Number three, RSS also will have a big say in finding out who is going to be the acceptable candidate, because this is the first time again RSS has been working for a Hindu Rashtra for years now, and this is the first time it has got this kind of opportunity. So I don't think that RSS will let go of this thing. And after all, when you look at who all Modi and the RSS have put in positions of power, whether like Haryana or Maharashtra or any of the other states or UP recently, they have chosen somebody who is the total loyalist of the RSS and the BJP, and also Modi to a certain extent. So therefore, whoever they find, it has to have all these boxes to be ticked.
Okay.
And moreover, and they will also go for somebody who is eminent, so that the opposition will not reject somewhat more liberal. I wouldn't say it will be a hardliner. It could be a more liberal person, so that they could get some opposition votes also for this. So whoever sort of managed to get all these boxes ticked, then probably that person will have a chance. But the only thing is that they are keeping the cards close to the chest.
Absolutely.
Only because they don't want to let it out to the opposition. And they have gone through all the motions of consulting the opposition and then, going through the motion. I'm not saying that they're going to take whatever the opposition wants. It didn't happen during even Vajpayee's time.
Right.
So they're going through all the motions. Both sides are playing it very politically. And we will have to wait and see. Another 2-3 days, I think we will know who the candidate is going to be.
Okay. Raghavendra, as Ms. Shankar is pointing out, the motions have been gone through by the BJP, but yet not anything really substantial has come out of those meetings with the opposition. Looking at the factors that she just pointed out for us, loyalty to Prime Minister Modi, some sort of, let's say an endorsement by the RSS, and yet not a hardliner. This is a very difficult task, if you ask me. Do you think that the BJP is facing a bit of a, let's say, an existential crisis, if you will, in picking somebody who sort of meets all these requirements?
Well, yes, that surely would be a dilemma, because the BJP surely would want, to pick somebody who, endorses the core RSS ideology. Now, but in doing so, the party also realizes that it may give the opposition, a renewed sense of purpose in opposing the BJP's presidential nominee, and that is perhaps what the BJP is wary of. Getting a very, very core RSS person nominated for the presidential post may actually unite the opposition, polarize the opposition further against the BJP. It may lead to a situation where the opposition parties indeed get together and are able to float a consensus candidate, which may actually, give some sort of a fight to the BJP candidate. That is something which the BJP would not want, although it would be very keen to get a very, very core, RSS or a core Hindutva person appointed to the country's highest office. So therein lies a dilemma, and also, in a bit to thwart the opposition strategy, the BJP also would be wanting to, get, a candidate who can be a consensus candidate. That explains why the party, when its leaders met opposition leaders like Sonia Gandhi, they were not, proposing or floating any names, but were instead tried to, gather what the opposition was thinking in terms of potential candidates. So it has been a very, very carefully crafted strategy so far. The party has, kept all its cards very close to its chest. But yes, the dilemma would very much be there, whether to go in for a very, very core Hindutva RSS person, or stick to a candidate who could be more acceptable across party lines.
All right, so it just remains to be seen who exactly that trump card is going to be. We leave it there for now. Thank you all of you, Kalyani Shankar, Raghavendra Rao, and of course Kartikeya Sharma for joining us on that discussion. We'll keep a track on the BJP's parliamentary board meeting.